You are watching WPTV, award-winning college television.
Welcome back to the desk. Paterson Basketball is back, and here to break down the beginning of the season is Brian Montiel, J.J. Woodards, Daniel Muse, and Matt Goldman. Guys, the men's basketball team is going into the season with high hopes. Brian, who do you think will be that spark going into the season?
I'm going with David Martinez. As we saw in the scrimmage, me and you, JJ, he's a shooter. I love my shooters, and he's a definition of a spark plug. If he gets going, he's not gonna miss. He's one of the best shooters on our team, second best statistically wise, and he's one of our senior leaders. So I'm very excited for him this season. I think he's gonna step up big.
Yeah, absolutely. Daniel, go over to you.
Well, I'm gonna take it over to Andre Wells. Andre Wells coming in from last season, transfer last season, him not really finding his number one point guard role to this year. I hope he can act as such a CP3 and get some structure to this team because last year they had Sean Summers, who was the leading scorer, but he was more of an ISO ball player, which didn't work clearly, as they didn't have much success. So I want to see Andre become that leader that they need.
Yeah, let's look to see if he can become that leader for the team this year. JJ, I'll swing it over to you.
I'm going to go with Neftali Valentin. This guy, last year, averaged 12 points per game, 40% from the field, and 41% from three-point range. He is the leader of the team now. Now that you said Sean Summers, he's gone. He was the leading scorer on the team. Neff was second on the team. It's his team now. This team's going to go as far as he take him.
Yeah, Neftali is known to be a sharpshooter as well, so let's look to see him get a lot of points behind that arc. Matt, I'll go over to you.
I'm going to go with the big man, Tim John Balla. Averaged 3 points a game last year, 3 boards, second in the team in blocks, shot 41% from the field. He's a senior now, and it's time for a breakout, Tim. He's going to use his size just to baby the D3 competition. Shout out Jackson Liberty High School.
Yeah, he's very tall, so look to, he's going to get a lot of boards for this team. But the men's team has their first game of the season upcoming on Tuesday against your college. Daniel, take us through how these two teams match up.
Well, in this matchup, we have the previously 6-19 Pioneers last season averaging 73 points per game on 42% field goal and 32 from beyond the range, attacking on 34.3 rebounds per game. And on the other side of that misery, you have the Cardinals last season at 8-18, 75 points per game on 42% field goal and 30 from beyond the three, tacking on an impressive 40 rebounds per game. So with Tim John Balla here this year, I believe that a change will be made in the favor of the Pioneers, improving their overall success.
Yeah, Daniel, keeping it with you, what do the Pioneers need to do to start off strong?
The Pioneers need to get their defense going and their structure going. I'm going to stick with structure. They need to find a structure. Last year, they were an ISO team. That's a Pro-AM team. This is D3 college. You need structure. Chapman needs to get structure and Steele and Wells that he's the leader, he keeps everything together, and everything runs through him.
Yeah, gelling together as a team and as a unit is very key, and I think they can, find that this year.
Yes.
JJ, I'll go over to you.
Defense. That's what they need, defense. This team last year, they averaged 75 points a game. You're going to have to defend them. You're going to have to sit down, sit in that chair, hands out, all that. You need defense. Defense wins championships.
Yeah, defense does win championships, JJ. Matt, I'll go over to you.
It's just the ability to crash the boards. They averaged 34 boards a game last year, but their opponents averaged 40.5. They return Andre Wells. They return Neff Valentine. They return John Balla, Shane Green, David Martinez. You just got to run to the ball, make plays, and execute, and that's how you win games.
Yeah, with their team very tall, with John Balla and Shane Genie, they can get a lot of boards on the offensive glass. Brian, I'll go over to you.
Shooting. I love me some shooting, some driving kicks, stuff like that, wide open threes. Last season, we're kind of in the middle of the pack when it comes to shooting. I've seen the team work on their shots with the little machine every single time I go to the rec center. We also have Jock Goebel and Jayani Morgan, 2 first-year students that are shooters. I think they can come off the bench and give a good shooting percentage and help us out if we need a big shot. And I think our shooting is going to be very improved this season.
I will say I have seen them in the gym this offseason. That's for sure.
Yeah. Switching it on to the other side of the court, the women's side basketball team gets their season started today. Matt, who do you think will be a key player on the women's side?
It's got to be Madison Sierra. She's now a sophomore. As a freshman last year, averaged 8 points per game, 5 boards, 2 assists, and a steal and a half. And she started almost every single game as a true freshman. She's a floor general. She leads the team in assists. She was second in minutes. Now that she's an upperclassman, she's going to have to be heavily relied on to be, honestly, a leader and a star of this team, because this Pioneers women's team, they're very, very good.
Yeah, she had a good freshman campaign, but let's see what she can do heading into her sophomore season. Brian.
I'm going with Patty Walsh. She's our small forward, power forward for this team. Last season, she led the team in rebounds with averaging 6, third leading scorer of the team with 8 points, but I'm expecting a jump up. I'm expecting a double-double machine from her this season. I think she's able to do it, and I think that would help us a lot get into the NJAC tournament. We just missed it last year, and if she can have a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, she can lead this team to an NJAC tournament.
Yeah. Muse, I'll go over to you.
Well, I'm going to go Renee Wells. I'm going to bring it over to shooting. You know, injured first half of last season to slowly returning at the second half of last season. She became the second leading scorer on the team last season after Bree Smitty. So I'm excited to see what she could do, you know, because her first year, she was the rookie of the year. Yeah. So I'm excited to see what she could do this year. Her and Bree Smitty in the backcourt could really stir things up. Yes.
They're dangerous.
JJ.
I'm going to go with Jade Martinez. She averaged 6.5 points last year, just over an assist last year, but she's the point guard of this team. I feel like she's going to evolve into that floor general, because somebody has to get Brianna Smith, Patty Walsh, and Renee Wells the ball. Somebody has to get them the ball, and I think she can do that.
Yeah. The women's basketball team starts their season today at Vascular Tip-Off Tournament. JJ, take us through their first game against your Sinus.
Well, it would be your Lady Pioneers going up against your Sinus Bears. The Pioneers averaged over 64 points a game last year, while the Bears averaged 56. The rebounding Pioneers won that battle, 37 a game, and the Bears got 35. The Pioneers only shot 35% last year. The Bears shot over 37, and the Pioneers shot 31% from 3, 25 for the Bears. They played today, and I feel like they're going to get the dub.
Yeah. JJ, I'll keep it with you. What do you think the Pioneers need to do to start this, the tournament off strong?
Well, show everybody in the NJAC that they are buckets. I went with scoring. They need to get put the ball in the basket. You know, you got Brianna Smith, who's a great scorer. You got Renee Wells, who's a great scorer. Patty Walsh, who's a great scorer. Madison Sierra, who's a shooter. Jade Martinez, you got Jada, who's coming off the bench. You got buckets on the team. You got people that can get into their bag. So I feel like scoring was going to help them win this game.
Yeah, this team has got a lot of scorers, like you're saying, on the team, with Sierra, with Patty Walsh. They can be dominant in that department. Goldie, I'll swing it over to you.
You just got to lead early. It's after getting out to a slow start, it only leads to negative things. You got to get your stars involved early. As we mentioned, Brianna Smith, dog. Renelle Walls, dog. Patty Walsh, dog. Maddie Sierra, dog. Jade Martinez, dog. They just got to build momentum and lay the blueprint for the freshmen.
Yeah, I mean, starting off, you always want to start off your game strong with the lead, and I think that the Pioneers have to do that to get their first win of the season. Muse.
I'm going to keep it simple.
Oh, sorry, Brian.
I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to say we got to hit our threes. We were fourth in NJAC in three-point percentage last season, which is great. We have pretty good shooters. We had the second leading scorer in Brianna Smith, and she was one of the top shooters in the league in the NJAC. And I'm very excited to see this team shoot this year. I think we strive from the three-point line, and we were fourth. I think we can make it to the top 3 in NJAC in shooting this year.
I believe so as well.
Coop, don't worry. That's like his middle name. Like, Muse is like his middle name. So you're
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Muse, now I'll go over to you.
Well, I'm going to say their strength in numbers, their strength in their roster. With almost 18 active players, I have the inside word from the women's team that they plan to use almost all of their active players, get fresh legs in and out on the court at all times, and potentially press 94 feet out the gate.
I mean, that brings different looks for, like,
yes.
And it confuses the other team.
Speeds up the game, and I believe that they need that speed up.
All right, gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for this segment. That's all we have for WP Basketball. We wish them luck as they begin their season. Let's shift our focus to the WP Volleyball team as they continue to dominate Keep it locked here on WP Sports Desk.